How's it going? Wooden Spoon SuperCoach here. An absolute circus of a round one has everyone wanting to use two trades. Some of us planning on trying to show some restraint. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I know Max is probably using one by the sounds of it.
Just one, maximum one.
Maximum one. See, I don't have that kind of willpower. There's too much I need to fix, but we will get to that after the teams lists. So, round two, don't forget to put any of your tips in the comments for any of these games. And if they win, they'll get added to the prize pool. We got, what was it, $8.90 last week? We'll probably hit $800 this week, as long as we don't. We only need like $3 to do it, so we got this. For the first game, the only note I've really got here is that Adokar's back, pushing Russell to center and Kelly out. Hopgood is being replaced by Kelmer, not directly, but I don't really have any interest in what's going on there anyway.
Hopgood's suspended for 1 week. So
Yeah.
if you have Hopgood, to be honest, he looked good enough. You could hold him. I don't think there's any real urgency to get off there. Just play somebody else this week.
Adokar's like about a 500k-ish guy. I don't think we're going to be looking at him. As for the Broncos, it's basically the same exact team, except for if Ben Hunt starts or the other way around. We'll see what happens on match day, but nothing really to go over there.
Pretty sure Madge came out and said that Ezra's definitely starting this week.
Yeah, okay. That wouldn't surprise me. Warriors and Raiders. I don't have anything for them. I think they're both the same exact lineups.
Well, the scary thing there is Timiko in the reserves.
Yes.
Not sure if he's going to come back. Simi Sasangi, pretty relevant in draft leagues. So, look, I actually got him on a waiver claim and then saw Timiko in the team list, and I was like, oh, sweating bullets a bit about it, but whatever, it is what it is. Hopefully he still plays big minutes for draft purposes.
I do think Sasaki is just going to drop to maybe a bench role or something once what's his face does come in. Timiko, that's the guy. Yeah, he's just too important to the Raiders to not come right back in as soon as he's good. And I'm not worried about Noah Martin either. He's one of the trades I've made this week. It's crazy how quickly I flipped from a do not even go there to he's borderline must have.
Spoiler alert for the trade section, but let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, should we do our tips on each of these games as we go? Broncos, Eels. Who you got? What do you got?
Broncos.
Broncos
by fucking heaps.
By heaps. I got Broncos by 8. I reckon.
When I say heaps, I want to say like just 13 plus. 13 plus is still heaps, I reckon.
Yeah, I think it'll be Broncos 1-12.
Yeah, the Eels probably will fight back, but I feel like the Broncos are going to be in a mood as well after, like, it's two losing teams, so it's kind of, they're both in the same sort of headspace, but I think the Broncos have that added, like, they need to prove they're still, like, here to run shit.
Yep. They lost to the Eels last time up at Suncorp as well, so they'll be looking to make up for that.
Yeah. For the Warriors and the Raiders, I actually have no idea. I think I'm going to go the Warriors.
It's so tough. I think I've tipped the Raiders, but Papali's out, so it's like, oh, I think the Raiders are the better team, but the buff that the Warriors get from being at home is like really strong. So yeah, this one's a bit of a coin toss. Maybe take the Raiders with the line.
Yeah, don't mind that. But yeah, I think I'd go Warriors. It's always 1-12 when it comes to the Raiders, really, isn't it? So I'm happy to lock that in. Roosters, Rabbitohs. What have I got here? Toya is back in, and God, the Roosters missed him last week. It'd be interesting to see how they defend with him back in. For the Rabbitohs, just their halfback troubles continue to spiral. They're on, what, God, is he the, is Sullivan their third or fourth choice halfback at this point?
Yeah, I think third, and yeah, Ashton Ward's out for quite a few weeks, but Jamie Humphries will be back next week, so definitely don't get on Sullivan. I'm hoping as a Latrell fader that Robert Toya shuts him down this week. Let's go, and he scores 30.
Yeah, definitely not scrambling to get Latrell in. But if he goes big again, then he definitely comes into the conversation of, do we need to do something about that?
Fafita could go off this week, though.
Yeah.
Fafita could absolutely go off this week.
Yeah, huge game for Fafita. But yeah, there's been a forwards shuffle around for the Roosters, but we can say that most weeks, none of it is too SuperCoach relevant. So I think this is a tough one to tip as well. I think I think the Roosters are going to bounce back 1 to
Yep,
12.
me too. I think the Roosters, but I'm not super confident. So maybe Roosters with the line. Yeah, Sam Walker has to have a bit of a bounce back, I think, and Robert Toya back into that defensive line should mean all of their combinations and communication in defense is back up to scratch, and hopefully, yeah, they can shut down the Rabbitohs. But this was tough to tip.
Shut down the Rabbitohs except Cody Walker and
No,
Kalamatangi.
they won't be able to shut down Kalamatangi, but hopefully they can shut down Cody Walker and Latrell Mitchell. I'm really praying for it as a fader.
Yeah, I can't do shit about Keon. I love that he's in my team. It's
Yep.
next up, Tigers, Cowboys, another one that's going to be tough to tip. However,
Yeah.
Tigers should be ready to tear them up here, I think, since they're coming off the bye nice and fresh. Cowboys are probably going to want to bounce back as well, but I think the fact that it's the Tigers' first game, they're just going to have that energy and be tough to stop. So I'd probably go with them.
Macassini in center. I'm still playing him. I think he'll be great. But I do think that there's going to be points on the board in this game because Cowboys notoriously not the best defense, and West Tigers again, all their combinations and communications in that back line are going to be a bit up in the air. So I'd say there's lots of points on the table in this game. And yeah, look, personally, I'm holding Drinkwater and I'm hoping that he pops off.
I'm thinking generally there's going to be more points. There's been a lot of chatter about the more six agains and how, comparisons to 2021 when the six agains were brought in and now there's more of them and generally it means higher scoring and more attack. I think we're probably going to see that unless the refs decide to dial it back. So these kind of defense optional types of games, we could really start to target these, I think.
Yeah, so look, not really anybody super interesting in here, but the
Yeah.
watch for sure is going to be like people like Jackson Purdue, Tom Chester. If Tom Chester stinks it up, then maybe he's out next week for Labor. So that's a problem. But if he plays really well, hopefully he holds his spot. Yeah, and Purdue, looking for Purdue to have a bounce back game, looking for Drinkwater to have a bounce back game. He has had 2 weeks to rest his ribs, so I'm hoping Drinky's good. And everybody's taken NRL physio's advice and selling him. And I'm one of the only people with him still in my squad, and he goes off for me. But yeah, otherwise on the other side, I got Macassini. I'm still playing Macassini this week. I got no worries with that at all. He has, I think Taylor May switched sides, so anybody with May, if you were like set on him being on the left, then he's going to the right. But I think he'll be a weapon anyway. So yeah, they're both good options there.
Yeah, you don't. I can't imagine it matters where you put May. He's gonna rip shit up. So we can move on to. Did you
I
pick
do want to
a?
have a look. I do want to have a look at Terrell May's minutes in this game.
Yes.
That's minute watch on Terrell May.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, a few people talking about Kai Pierce-Paul as well, who's a good pod option.
Yeah.
So watching to see if he has the offload license in this game, which I suspect he will. But yeah, look, I think Terrell May and Kai Pierce-Paul are both going to be targets at some point during the season. So I'm excited to have a look at them. But I got the Cowboys probably 1 to 12.
Yeah, nice. I got burnt by KPP last year, or potentially the year before. I don't even know. So I'm probably not going to be taking any punts on him
That was
myself.
probably
But
an Adam O'Brien thing. So
yeah, that's true.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
But I can't discourage anyone from going there. So Dragons in the Storm. Only thing I've got here is that Sean Blaw is still on the extended bench. So I don't think the Storm are like completely off him and they're not going to play him again for the season. So that does still worry me for Lasardi and Joe Chan. His stocks look okay. He's probably going to get 80 minutes regardless. But yeah, other than that, there's not too much to take from here. The Dragons are lining up with the same exact team. And
Yeah.
I think the Storm get this done.
Do you play Sedu 2 this week against the Storm? I won't.
No.
I don't think. Yeah.
No.
And you don't have Moses Leo, do you?
I don't.
If you did, would you play him against the Dragons?
I personally wouldn't because I've got 4 guns. But if
Yeah.
I needed to play a cheapie and he was on the list, 100%, I'd pick him. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely another one to watch for Farlongo because obviously Farlongo last week had a great game, but it was a bit of an easy game for them. So
Yeah.
Dragons have a lot of grit, and I think this one will be tough. I think the Storm will win, probably more comfortably than the Bulldogs did, for example.
Yeah,
But I still think it's going to be a tough one, and could be one of the games where Farlongo does 30. So again, as somebody who doesn't have Farlongo, I'm sort of hoping that is the case. But if you're like sitting on Drinky and you're thinking to trade to Farlongo or Ponga or something, then I can understand it. But personally, I'd be looking to wait and see, look at another week. I wouldn't jump to either one of them after 1 week so far. Yeah.
100%. And I was going to make a point with the trades, but I'll save it for later. So we've
All right.
actually got something to talk about later. Yeah, so I've got Storm. Yeah, 1 to 12 feels about right for this because I think the Dragons are going to give it their all.
I'll probably just go Storm head to head. I'm not confident about what the score will be at all.
Yeah, it could be 50.
Have you got Chan or Lasardi or both?
Neither.
Neither.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have
And
a plan to get one of them,
probably,
or what
yeah.
are you thinking?
So this week, I've got other plans. So basically, for this week and
We
next
don't.
week, I've already thought
Yeah.
about who I'm going to trade, and I'm just picking where I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So this week, I'm trying to do the most locked in ones. Like doing my fullback trade next week gives me that whole week more of information, whereas the other trade I made didn't need to be done this week, but it was going to be needed to be done regardless either week.
Regardless. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. But Chan, Lasardi, are they targets for you?
yes, next week. So
Okay.
the one
One
of
or the
them,
other? Which
probably
one do you
Chan,
know?
probably Chan,
Chan. Okay. Yeah.
and my
I'm
other trade could be Leo.
anyone looking at Chan or Lasardi, I think the Chan security is better, but Lasardi's base is better.
Yeah,
So it's a bit of a coin flip. But personally, I'd be going towards Chan. I think I'm actually just going to fade them both for a bit and see what happens. Because again, they could have a couple of plotting games. They both
yeah.
did really good last week, but if they come out this week and both score 40, I'll be grateful that I don't have either of them, and I won't be hurrying to get to either of them, to be honest, because there's a fair few other good options in the second row, and I'm just still a bit confused about what's going to happen there, especially with Blory in the reserves.
Thing is with those guys though, if they score a 40, I don't even think that's going to hurt their break even much. It'd still be really low. So
Yeah, but you could have Helam Lukey come out and score another 80 or
that's
90 or
true,
something.
and
So I just
one
think
of
that
them
there's
will. There will be a
yeah,
standout option next week for sure.
yeah. So wait and see for sure.
Panthers and the Sharks.
Tungo's out. It looks like Cleary's just dropped him.
Yeah,
He's kind of gone out of favor or something.
Jenkins is back
Jumping.
in.
Yeah.
He's 600k and he has a 19 break even for those playing at home. Um, and I have a underwhelming looking Brian Toto in my team, and I've thought about it. I could just flip it over to Jenkins. He's been so good for us before. But as a logical decision, you probably want to watch him for a bit longer.
What's the unders overs here for Toto? What for you to keep him versus trade him out instantly next week? He's got
Oh
to score
god,
at least
he'd have
50
to
for
score
you.
10 to get traded next week. But
10 to get traded next week. 30 and 10, and you still won't trade him out. Okay.
look,
Yeah.
a 10 I will. Oh, true, I could just go him to Moses Leo. That doesn't mess with my
Yeah.
plans, but I'm not really
If
thinking about getting rid of any guns. It's more about fixing up my cheapy situation
yeah.
and
Okay.
kind of giving the guns a little bit longer to heat up.
If Toto scores another 30, I'd be getting him out of my team. I don't think he scores that well on that side of the field.
Yeah,
But yeah. I mean, I don't have him in my team at all. So
yeah, he'll be on the
yeah,
list to get rid of, but not a priority.
yeah. I'm gonna hold Ramy in for a couple more weeks as well and try and upgrade him to Eero. Eero still looks good. Like he has good base and stuff, and I've got him in draft. But yeah, hopefully Ramy in a couple more weeks, and then he'll sort of peak in price. Hopefully Eero sort of drops a little bit, and then I can make the transition if required. Trindle and Hines. I do want Hines, but I can't do it anytime soon. So looking to sort of make my way towards Hines in around 5 or 6 or something if possible.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully he can not get his break even down too far so we can all make a bit of money and actually get him rather than having to try and scrape the funds together for an 850k Hines. So we'll see how that
If
goes.
Drinky flops again this week, I'll probably just switch him out for Hines.
Yeah. 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 I like that a lot, actually.
Especially if Sam Walker doesn't do that well. Like I'll still hold Sam Walker, but I'll just get Hines as well, and I'll just go double gun halfback or something.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much. I mean, Ethan Sanders is doing a job for now, but Yeah, I do
Yeah.
want to eventually get 2 guns. For that
Uh,
one, I pick Sharks 1 to
no,
12.
Panthers.
I rec-
Panthers.
I just feel like the Sharks kind of need to.
They do, but the Panthers' defense is just going to be too good. I
Yeah,
reckon this. I
I
reckon
don't
this
say
one.
that confidently, the Sharks call, not at all, after how well the Panthers played last week, but it just seems like that kind of early season tip where you're like, oh, that's locked in, they win. And then, I don't know, I'm trying to be tricky with it,
I
I
don't.
guess.
I don't expect a lot of points in this one. I reckon, sort of like 22 to 18 or
Yeah,
something like that, sort of maximum. So, yeah, I think this one will be a bit of a defensive hit out.
yeah.
Panthers will be too good. Hopefully, they shut
Yeah.
out the Sharks a bit, and yeah, except for Ramian. Let's go.
I'm going to say that, like, the Sharks win it on, like, a bad ref call. That's my level of confidence.
Yeah. All right. I don't mind that. That's pretty good odds, I reckon, on just about any game.
Oh, God. Okay, Manly and the Knights.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got anything for this game as well. I think it's just
Don't
Sandon
get,
Smith comes in for Fletcher Sharp, and it should be a cracker of a game. Two of the fullbacks that everyone's looking at, trying to see
yeah.
who's becoming the standout option. And of course, Turbo is just going to take a giant shit all over the Knights, and he'll be the guy. And then next week, I'll trade him.
Yeah, so that's a perfect example of you if you wondering about which fullback to get. Like, watch them face off against each other and then decide. I personally, if Turbo's your guy, you've got a whole extra week to have a look. There's no
Yeah,
urgency to get him in for week 3 because he's got that bye. Like he'll have an extra week before price changes, so no rush at all to get Turbo. Ponga without the threat of Fletcher Sharp in the side as well. Like he does do a lot for the team, and he does still have Dylan Brown there to take some of the heat from him. So Ponga should still be good, and he kicks goals. If I was picking between these two, I'd be picking Ponga, but
goal kicking
again,
is
like
nice.
yeah, again, I'd probably wait until next week. In the forwards, Hetherington gets a start. That's cool. A bit of a bummer that Laiafi didn't get into the squad though. Not sure exactly what's going on there.
He's at like 19 or 20 or something, so he's in the picture, but he's nowhere near the
Yeah,
pitch. So
yeah. I thought with Takiaro out that they might put Laiafi in. So at some point, I might have to move off him. He's essentially become like a bit of a nuff in my front row forward four. I wouldn't mind getting him up to like a Paseka or something. But yeah, at this point, like nothing urgent in here, I don't think. But definitely a watch on Trey Mooney. See if his minutes in this one.
yep,
If he plays about 50 minutes again, Jags an attacking stat, then he becomes pretty much a must-have. But if he scores about 40 or 50, then that's probably what you'd expect most weeks from him. So yeah, I don't expect him to score 90 points again.
beautiful. The only thing I've got to say is every week I'm just going to shout out that not Nathan Brown, that Ethan Bullimore needs more minutes. Fucking
Yeah,
make it happen, Manly.
he
I
does look
thought
good.
that was going to happen with this injury, but I mean it still could, and he's just still coming off the bench. But yeah, I don't know.
Fletcher Sharp's out for only a couple of weeks, I think, here. So if Fletcher Sharp owners, I reckon you could hold. And from what Physio said, his PCL is a minor injury compared to like Reece Walsh, who had sort of like a major PCL last year. And Reece Walsh came back firing. He was a bit slow at first, but then he fired up again. So there's a chance to aggravate in game and stuff. Like I'm a little bit concerned. I'd probably be if I had Fletcher Sharp, I'd be trading him and then waiting to see how he goes in the first couple of rounds back. But I can understand holding him as well. Personally, I'd be trading him and using that money somewhere else until he comes back and until you see him, performing strong on that knee. So
Yeah, I'll be 100% targeting him when he comes back. So if you're getting rid of him, you'd probably need another trade put aside to get him back, because once he is back, I feel like he's going to put up some massive scores.
I think
Um,
it'll take him a couple of weeks to get back into the flow of it.
yeah, for sure. I've
No,
got Manly 13 plus, obviously, for this one. What do you reckon?
no. I got. Oh, geez. I think the Knights are going to win in a very close game. I don't think
Hopefully
Manly
not.
can. I think Manly's going to do it again. They're going to be right in there, but they won't be able to ice it. I
Yeah,
don't think
it showed quickly that we need someone to be able to shoot field goals for us.
Yeah. I think, between Ponga and Brown, I think the spine is just like better on the Knights. And it's going to be a tough one. It'll be close. But I think both of these teams are sort of sitting around that sort of 13th to 15th this season. So it should be close, but I've got the Knights just.
The thing is, though, this is especially where you should pretend it's the 2021 season with the six agains and shit, and we're gonna have that turbo, and we're gonna win the comp. So Manly 13 plus for this one easily.
Turbo's going to do his hammy 30 minutes in, and
Nah,
then it's all over.
nah, nah. They're he got transplants. They're made of fucking carbon fiber or some shit
They were
now.
they were they were rubbing him down at half time.
They were greasing up the carbon fiber or some shit.
Yeah.
Cool. 13 plus for that one. Dolphins and Titans.
Yeah, Titans exactly the same 1-17. Love to see that from Josh Hannay. There's a lot of talk about how they just played very poorly. Maybe they just got a little bit overconfident after their good preseason or something, and they had a bit of a reality check. I think they're going to come back out with that same motivation that they had in the preseason and really step it up. On the Dolphins side, they were tough last week, and if they get a little bit more polish on, they should win this one pretty easily. But at the same time, yeah, so there's a few relevant players in here. So, Feimani probably wouldn't play him this week. Like I wanted to because the Dolphins can leak points, but I also just feel like their edges will be pretty strong in defense. So, yeah, not 100% confident with that. Arama Howe, I do have him. I'm kind of worried about playing him this week as well. His job in my team is to make money. So, last game of the round, I don't really want to be banking on him making a big score. So, yeah, look, I'll probably won't play any of my Titans this week except for Bo Fermel. Yeah.
I
As
actually
for the
don't
Dolphins,
mind playing Feimani, sticking a reserve on him at a pinch. If you don't have Moses Leo, he's probably one of the better cheapy ones that you could go with as well. There is Macassini.
I
But
thought about it, but yeah, I'm playing Macassini and Chester,
yeah,
so I don't really want to play a third one. In a side that looked terrible last week. So
yeah, fair,
yeah,
fair.
it's a bit rough. But this one, I've also got Flegler, and look, I think Flegler will be big again. So and the second rowers were very dangerous for the Dolphins last week. But if they can get a little bit more ball out to the centers in good territory, they could put on 50 points. So they just might also let in 30 points. This could be another one that's quite a high scorer, and that could
Yeah.
work well for Feimani. But also, if they can shut him down, I don't know if Feimani will score over 30. So it's a bit volatile. I'm just not sure I want to go there. Have you still got Tino? You're playing Tino this week, of
I
course.
do, yeah. I think
Yeah.
he recovers. I think this
Yeah.
first week is just like a blip on the radar. Like it'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
If he, it depends. If they get 50 put on them again and he gets a similar score, that would be more concerning than if they didn't get 50 put on them and he still like didn't get as many minutes or something. So as long as I
Yeah.
can get a clear understanding of what his role is when they're not just getting fucking fisted for 80 minutes.
Yeah.
Um,
Need it to be a close game so we can see what his minutes
yeah,
actually look like. Yeah.
yeah.
And
And
I
whether
think
they were just
Flegler
putting the Ferrari back in the shed, so to speak. So I'm not too worried about him.
I think Flegler's just going to keep getting better as the weeks go on as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Flegler in action again. He looks tough. I'm hoping this one. I'm hoping Cobbo gets a hat trick, and like that'll mean Herbie probably scores well. But as a Herbie fader, I'm looking for Cobbo to outscore him and bridge that price gap so that I can upgrade to Herbie. But geez, Herbie is his willingness to offload and his effort. The only way I can fault him is he probably has too high of a work rate. Because what happens is he'll go down to the other side of the field and take a run on third tackle, and then they'll spread the ball out left, and he's nowhere to be seen. like,
Last
so
last week he did nothing for that 75. Like
I wouldn't say he did nothing. He
not
tries
not
so hard.
nothing, but
Yeah,
like
I know
for a
what you mean.
75, it's
When you watch him
yeah,
closely, he is one of the biggest effort players. He'll go get involved. He'll find a way to make something happen. He'll look to offload on every single run, and he obviously has a license to do it. So
he
that's
just
you just We need Herbie. We need
Yeah,
Herbie in our team. I'm just hoping that he keeps scoring 70 for a couple of weeks before they are able to get the timing right and really unlock him. And in that time, Cobbo can close that price gap for me a little bit.
I can smell the 150 coming on Herbie this week, and
Oh
I've got the
gosh.
captaincy on him, and
Yeah.
it's going to be beautiful.
I think a lot of people are doing that. It scares me a bit.
Yeah, I'm another one of those guys. Like you can't have them all, but God, it's good to not have to worry about him. Max Plath back on the bench is cool to see. Maybe he has a reduced role to start with, loses a bit of money, and then becomes relevant. I think we're
I
pretty
don't
much set on second row forwards and hookers
I
though.
don't
So
love I don't love Schneider as a nine. Like I don't think his service is that great, but I remember watching Max Plath play nine and thinking he was unreal.
mm,
So I personally just want to see Max Plath get into that dummy half role as quickly as possible and stay there for the rest of the game.
yeah, he's done a
And
job
then
there.
yeah, he's solid, and people aren't going to run over the top of him like they do with Schneider as well. So personally, I'd like to see them switch right before the game and for Max Plath to start. But yeah, like we'll see how we go there. Max Plath definitely one to watch, one that I might be targeting if he can stay fit for a few weeks.
Beauty, and we got Ray Stone in there as well coming back, which is
Yeah.
also cool.
The Cooper
Um,
by minutes watch situation again. Like I just need Cooper by to play more than 30 minutes or come into the game at the 30-minute mark and then, play 10 minutes, have a bit of a break, come back out, play another 20 minutes. Like I think he's a really good player. It just needs a bit more minutes. And there's chat Josh Hannay's trying to ease him into the NRL tier because he's, only so young. But at this point, he is the one that is potentially on the chopping block for me in order to make my one trade that I need to do this week. So if he does start getting a minutes increase, we're looking to get him back pretty quickly. But if he plays another 30 minutes or less, I'll be happy with the trade, I suppose, trading him out for now. But
yeah,
once his minutes pick up, I want him.
he'll also be the guy. I'll probably be looking at getting rid of next week to get in probably Joe Chan.
Okay.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't mind him as a sell, but we do need more information on him. I reckon. I don't think you want to trade him this week. I think we can look at him once more.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. You don't need to trade him this week. It's just if I'm going to do something, I think he's the only one I want to move off at this point.
Yeah, fair.
This one, I probably got Dolphins head to head. I'm not really that confident about what the scoreline's going to be.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll go Dolphins 13 plus. Why not? Did we
All right.
do? We did the Manly one, of course we did.
Yep.
I think that is it. So we'll move over
That's it.
now and figure out what we're doing this week. Even though we've both, well, half of mine I've got no idea because I don't know whether I want to get rid of Drinkwater and put Walsh in, or put Turbo in, or put bloody Ponga in. There's just so many
Bro,
options, so I'm not going to
we
do
made
it this week.
we made nice graphics of both the teams. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, what the fuck?
You need that third
Boom.
display.
I
Boom.
seriously do need that third display. That's
The one trade that I'm thinking about doing this week is Cooper by to Noah Martin. He's a beast, played 80 minutes, knows how to find the try line, doesn't have a huge work rate, but has very efficient work rate. And I'm just a little bit concerned with Timoko back in the reserves, whether or not Timoko ends up playing and then Sasangi takes minutes off Noah Martin. But the other thing that I have in mind is the value on 80-minute edge back rowers this year is actually huge because it really allows the coach to have the flexibility with the six-man bench and actually, make trades as required rather than just moving your forwards around to give them a rest. If you have two 80-minute edges, it could be really beneficial. And I'm wondering if, Ricky Stewart has got that big brain play in mind where he's just going to run two 80-minute edges and Noah Martin can do it. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. That'll be the best case scenario for him. But if he still plays 50 minutes or something, like he'll make money. And if that huge score will be the first one to drop out with the price changes, but he's definitely the most prominent of the cheapies. And just with, potentially having to make a couple of other moves next week, maybe move on Laiafi or move on Arama Howe or switch Leilua into a Helam Lukey, there's quite a few things I want to do there. So that's why I'm just sort of trying to get ahead of the curve. I'll make one trade, Cooper by to Noah Martin this week.
yep. And I'm similar. Noah Martin, I'm just not convinced Noah Martin's going to have any issues. So he's a nice, safe one I can do this week and then
Yeah.
have the decision next week to
Yeah.
do those
With
guys.
with Matty Nicholson re-injuring his shoulder and potentially getting surgery, then yeah, job security is better for Noah Martin than some of these other options, and he's set to make quite a bit of cash as well. So I think yeah, definitely a good choice for you. Who did you switch out for him?
So we'll have to go
Oh,
down to the backs for that because I've got him
that's
in
right.
flex.
You had the double cheapy halfback situation going on.
Yes. So I got rid of Daniel Atkinson for him. And I feel like that's a very kind of efficient trade. I think Atkinson is going to be needed to be dealt with at some point. I don't think he's going to he could make a bit of money, but I don't want to have to deal with it when he decides to start scoring 40s or whatever. And then all of a sudden I've got enough amount or whatever. So yeah, happy with it. And also, if Tino is an issue next week, if I sell him, Noah Martin, up you get, and then my flex is open again, and I can trade in whoever. I think that's how I'm going to use it this year, rather than trying to figure out what position to fill with the flex. I'm just going to try and have the trades going through the flex, so that whenever I'm bringing someone in, it can be there's no restriction on it. Hope
I get that.
I'll have to
I
also
just
make it that it doesn't go the other way around and makes it difficult for me to make moves.
Yeah, like I'm a big fan of the flex being a gun that just automatically gets into your team and the lowest score drops out. I'm a huge fan of that, like the power of the flex. So I won't be ever running cheapies or anything like that in my flex because ideally I want my flex to, if my whole team scores pretty well and the lowest score is like a 40 or a 50 or something, then I want my flex to bump that low score out and top it up even higher. So yeah, I don't want my flex to be a cheapie, but I understand the power with the trades and stuff like that as well.
Yeah,
Atkinson, I'm not sold on Sanders just yet. He definitely did look good, and before the season started, I wondered to myself like, which coach is going to be able to get the most out of their rookie halfback? And the answer for sure was Ricky Stewart, right? And that was evident in week one. But the Dragons went up against potentially the best defensive side in the comp in the Bulldogs, and Atkinson is still a very electric player that I like to watch, and their draw is much softer over the next few weeks as well. So, there is some chat about people just jumping the gun and going a week early. Lots of trades to make next week. Let's just switch Atkinson for Sanders this week. I'm not a fan of that. I'm going to hold Atkinson for a few more weeks and see how he goes. I chose him at the start of the season for a reason, and I'm going to stand by that for a while, I suppose. And, hopefully he gets some good games in there. Don't get me wrong, if Sanders comes out next week and scores over a ton or something, then maybe I'll switch my mind just to get that cash gen going on. But yeah, at this point, I'm holding Atkinson. And I was actually pretty stoked to hear Tim Williams and Rugby League Guru both sort of say the same thing. So yeah, hold Atkinson for now, folks. I reckon don't panic trade just yet. It's been 1 week.
I wish I could get Petted out, but it's the same sort of argument. Like, that the Storm's the worst team he could have come up against. So
Yeah.
yeah, there is definitely like the round one, just sit on your hands, kind of take you can have because you can always boost next week. But I would like to hopefully not boost next week. So maybe I'll do one of these trades. You can see on my preview here, I've actually got Walsh in the team. I'm definitely tempted to do it.
Wait, is that a trade? So your trades, you've already made 2 trades this week. You
No,
bought in Noah Martin and you've bought in Reece Walsh.
I've reversed the Reece Walsh one back to Drinky. So just the one trade, the Noah Martin trade.
So you sent me the graphic for the stream
I
with the
changed my
wrong
mind
trades
like
in
as we
it.
recorded just then.
Yeah. All right. So who have you got instead of Walsh?
Drinky,
Drinky.
Drinky,
Okay.
yeah.
But so you're thinking a whole Drinky still?
Yeah, but my mind's going to change about that probably 5 or 6
Yeah.
times before I go to sleep tonight, let alone
Like,
before lockout. So flip a coin on
yeah.
that one. I don't know.
I'm sweating bullets about it, but I'm hoping everybody trades him out based on the injury news. I was thinking of it, and then he becomes a pod for me,
Yeah.
and goes well. I think he'll be great. So yeah, look, captain on Drinkwater, VC on Walsh for me. Hopefully Walshy pops off on Thursday night against the Eels. Crichton will come straight in for like a Chester or something like that. And yeah, I'll activate that VC loop. But if Walsh, scores under 100 or something, I'll probably just leave the C on Drinky and just pray, because this could make or break my season right here.
Oh
I'm
God.
already ranked so low, and I'm just doubling down on it. I'm doubling down on my preseason research
I
and
am
strategies.
worried about the Drinky captaincy. I really think we're gonna see him come out and do a whole lot of not much and like avoid contact because this fucking rib thing, dude. Like,
If it's bugging him before the game, he'll just get the pain injection before the game, and he'll just say, like, I can't do what I did last time, and not engage the line and not go through contact. Like, basically, if it's still bugging him, he won't kick goals, but I think he'll pick up the rest of his game. He'll be all right. If he goes out there and re-aggravates it and then has to go off, get the pain, then come back on, then
if Drinky
I'm
comes
screwed.
out and scores a 120, that is one of the all-time captaincies.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping
So,
for. But this is my problem: is I always try to outthink the room, and
yeah,
that's why I'm ranked 106,000 right now.
yeah. So, I mean, I've gone the Vice on Payne Haas. Speaking of doubling down, I think that's going to be his lowest score for hopefully the year.
I
And
did
then
consider
captaincy
putting
on
the
Herbie.
yeah, nice. And I've heard a few similar things. If you had Walsh in there, I'd VC Walsh and
Yes.
Captain Herbie. That's literally what I'm pretty sure Tim Williams and Spy, they both did it. And
Yeah. If
then
I do end up bringing Walsh in for Drinkwater, then he'll definitely have an armband.
if I if I chicken out of the Drinky captaincy, I'll just flick it up to Kalamatangi.
I rate that actually. Big
Yeah,
game for him
I
too.
thought
So
about it. I thought about it. This is just where, like, do I want to go for points or do I want to play it safe? Like,
yeah,
Keon's
yeah.
probably going to score another 70 or 80, but if he picks up an attacking stat or something, it could be great. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be tough. That Sydney battle rivalry. It's going to be a big game. Everyone will be fired up for it. It's
Does
probably the
AJ
logical thing.
does AJ need to score two?
Two. He needs to score two. One to tie, two to break.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Doing it at
Yeah.
the Roosters' home ground, that'd be mad.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody wants to do. But yeah, so look, the logical thing would be for me to put the captaincy on Kalamatangi instead, so that I can VC Walshy. But the the all in, all chips in, all cards on the table. Drinkwater captaincy, doubling down on the Walshy and Drinkwater. Surely my two gun top dollar fullbacks can't both flop 2 weeks in a row. Surely one of them has to go off this week.
You have a very large set of balls, my friend. I respect it. But
Well,
if you did chicken out and take the captaincy off him, I could not blame you. But I would love to see that go well because that'd be amazing.
look, if Reece Walsh flops I'm actually banking on Walshy being the one that goes good this week.
Yeah,
But if he
that
flops
makes the
again and does
decision
like
easy. Yeah.
yeah, if he does like 50 or something again, then I'll be panicking, and I'll just be like, oh, I can't do it, I can't do it, and then I'll put the captaincy on Keon, and then he'll probably break an eye socket or something in the first 10 minutes, and I'll be screwed.
Oh man.
Or knowing
Hopefully,
Keon,
just
he'll just play through it.
I just want a nice little break from the injuries, but we both know that's not how SuperCoach works. So
Yeah.
beauty. I think that just about covers it. Don't forget to join the group league. The code is 899247. The prize pool for that is currently $797. And don't forget to leave your comments down below with who you think is going to win, and we'll get that up over $800. That
And
is go
I'm
on.
also wondering, where's all the slander in the comment section from the guys that were calling our teams trash in the
We
first
definitely had
week or two,
scores
and I scored so
vulnerable to a shit
terribly.
talking. Yeah.
There's no, but I appreciate the people in the comments saying that our scores made them feel better about their scores. That's why we're here, folks, to make
Yeah.
you feel good about your super coach stuff. And yeah, don't listen to me. Maybe listen to Jake. I'm doing the crazy plays, and yeah, it's not working so far. But it's been 1 week, so we'll see what happens. I'm on the comeback train, hopefully.
I am absolutely here to make you feel bad. Next week, I'm going to score 1,600, and you're going to come in. You're going to be like, oh, I'm sad because that's not mine. But
I reckon par
I
this
need to bounce back. My fucking reputation's on the line here.
I think the refs are going to ease up a little bit on the 6 agains this week. I think the scores, like the par, is probably going to be more like 1100 or something. And I'm hoping I come out and do 1300 because I had Walsh and Drinkwater both
Yeah.
go crazy.
Yeah, God. I if next week we see like the team of the week score 1600 again, then it's like, okay, we're in 2021 areas now.
I just hope it's not all the same players as last week and it's different guys because
Yeah.
otherwise I'm in trouble.
God, well, fingers crossed. Good luck, everyone, for round 2. Think long and hard about your trades. Don't panic trade. Don't do anything you could do next week. That pretty much covers it. We'll see you next week. Hooroo.